What up, my goats? My name's Tote, and welcome back to the channel. If you forgot to bring a friend, go ahead and share that with all your friends right now. Like and subscribe while you're down there. Without further ado, I've got some confessions. These are my confessions. Okay, so last night is Valentine's Day, okay? So I'm trying to be real sweet, because it's Valentine's and that's what you're supposed to do, supposed to be sweet and nice and whatnot. And I feel like I nailed it, for starters. But here's the deal. My boyfriend, I went over to Scuba Steve's house and got ready for Valentine's Day. And then we went out to the restaurant. Took me out to a nice restaurant, one we like to go to. And, but it's a little pricey, so we don't go there very often. But we go over to the restaurant, we have a wonderful, amazing dinner, and we had great conversation. It was just a lovely evening, lovely date, really. Really enjoyed myself. Can you hear me like, I love you? So I really do, though. He's great. But after the dinner, I was pretty bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, okay? And that doesn't happen just all the time. And it also doesn't happen that I'm like, let's do something! And he's like, let's do something! And I also don't have to work in the morning because I work early in the mornings. And so I was like, let's go see a movie. Let's just see whatever's next. Because in my mind, that's romantic to do, to just like pick something. And that's where you go with things. But I don't know. Maybe it's not. Anyhow, so we look at what movies are next. And The Photograph was next. And I was like, would you like to see that? Because I kind of want to see it. Because I kind of like sappy movies like that. And he watches the trailer, and I see in his eyes that he's like, no. Like, there is nothing about him that wants to, and he's not into those, because he's a guy, I think, maybe, I don't know. But he's just like, yeah, I guess that's alright. I mean, it's Valentine's Day, right? And I was like, oh, you're so sweet. And so I was like, let's not watch that. Because I'm trying to be sweet to him at the same time. And so I was like, let's watch 1917 because I know you like war movies. And he was like, okay. And then it came to time for paying, and like neither of us really have any money, like ever. And so I was like, okay, you got dinner, I'm going to get the movie. And he was like, no, it's Valentine's Day, I got you. And I was like, all right. Okay, boy. All right. That's cool. I like that. That's cool. So then I was like, I get the next one. He's like, okay. So we worked out our kinks. But, so we go in to see the movie, and the trailers are starting. First of all, I get set down in this movie theater seat, which I'm like, oh my gosh. This is the most comfortable seat ever, guys. And it was. It was ridiculously comfortable. Like, if I am back in theater 5, like, I remember the theater and the seat number because I was like, this is the most comfortable chair I've ever sat in my life. Now, in my mind, it's because I've lost weight. Like, in my mind, I'm like, whoo, lose a little weight and chairs get comfortable. That's not what the deal was, okay? But it was a very comfortable seat, and I curled up in it quite nicely. And then the trailers start rolling, and the trailer plays for The Quiet Place Part 2. Now, it's immediately, like, scary, monsters, terrifying, suspense. Like, I went from, like, I'm ready to do some stuff to, like, we're gonna die! And then I came right back down, but, like, I went farther down whenever I came back, And so then, like, all of a sudden my eyes started doing this thing where they're like, oh. And I'm, like, nodding off a bit. And then I was like, just keep them open. So I did this. Like, I'm trying to watch these theater trailers, like never blinking, just, okay, we got this. And so I knew at that moment I might fall asleep. But I've never fallen asleep in a theater, Now, my roommate, she used to complain that I would like get ready to watch a movie with her and I would fall asleep. And it's because I go hard. I go hard. I do my stuff all day long, and like I go until nighttime, and the nighttime hits, and I go some more, and then I finally get a chance to go to sleep. And that's why. Like, because I'm spending so much time doing so much. But I don't get brownie points for that. I just get negative points, doo-doo points, falling asleep. So Steve's complained about it before. And I was like, you better not fall asleep. He spent so much money on you today. Like, do not, whatever you do not fall asleep. And so the movie starts playing, and it starts out, and you have to read it. And so I read it a little bit, and I was like, oh, I'm missing most of this because my eyes are blinking so much. And I'm like straightening up. Okay, all right, I got this. Focus. And it's not working. And so, like, these two soldiers, one's good with maps. The general's like, your brother's gonna die, so you two have to go do this. And they're like, okay, we got it. Aye, Captain. So they're like off to see the wizard, and very much like the two little hobbits at the beginning of Lord of the Rings, where they're like, we're going on an adventure. I feel like people are going to be upset because I didn't know those two hobbits' names. Frodo and Sam. Ha! Gotcha! But anyhow, so they're off, and they're talking about the one guy's Medal of Valor and all this stuff. Like, I got that part of the movie. That's my point here. And then I told myself the lie that I tell myself sometimes when I want to go to sleep, and I know I'm not supposed to. And that's if I close my eyes and just listen to the surroundings, I won't miss out. And what happens is my brain gets bored because it can't see anything, and then I just start making up my own stories in my head because my brain does that, and that turns into my dreams. So I did that, except in this situation, there was like really loud gunfire every once in a while. So all of a sudden, I would wake up. So here's how this went, and spoiler alert, because this is major parts of the movie, I think, even though I wasn't basically there for any of it. Basically, they're walking, talking about that. Then a mine collapses on them, and the one guy saves the other guy. And then a plane crashes into the barn, and a little German soldier attacks them and stabs one of them. I think it's the pilot, not sure. And then he gets on a truck. The truck gets stuck in mud. The truck gets stuck in a bridge. He tries to go over the bridge. He gets shot by this other dude. And then he meets a French gal, and he gives her not baby some milk. And then he sees some people singing in the woods. And then he runs across a battle that's happening. And then he saves the day. And that's it. That's all I got. That's the whole movie. That's all I saw. Basically, every time something loud happened in the movie, I was like, what? What happened? Oh, okay, yeah. I do remember the time that he gave the not baby milk. I was like, how did he get milk? And then I was like, they probably go over that in this movie. Don't ask anyone, because then they'll know you're asleep. So, movie's ended. We get up, we walk out. All is good. And I'm like, he knows. I'm like, I think he knows that I fell asleep. I think we're about to get in the car and talk about this. We get in the car, and he says, what'd you think of the movie? Which in my mind is complete setup. And so I was like, I thought it was sad. And he was like, well, I thought it had a happy ending. And I was like, well, yeah, the ending was kind of happy. And then we go over it, and I'm in the clear. I hit all the major plot points. He has no clue I fell asleep. Okay? I come home. I tell my mom about how I nailed it, and he has no clue. He called me about 5 minutes ago. And he was like, and I asked him how his sleep was. And his response was, not as good as your sleep last night in the theater. We're busted. He knows. Red alert. Yeah, he knew. He knew the whole time. He let me go on about how the movie was. Oh my God. He knew. Okay? He busted us. So, just come clean. whenever somebody knows.